All right, Google Voice versus Callrail, round one. Um, okay, so I personally use Callrail. At one point, I was using Google Voice quite a bit. Unfortunately, with Google Voice, um, if your email is deleted for some reason, what will happen is that you'll lose your Google Voice number forever. So you've got business cards with a Google Voice number. You've got bandit signs with a Google Voice number, other marketing items. Be careful of that. Okay, so that happened to me. So unfortunately, since then, I don't really use Google Voice as much as I used to. But okay, so let's see here. If right now I'm in my Google Voice account, okay, there's my Google Voice number. What you're going to see here is I've got my email to app right here. So this is my email. So whenever I get a new voicemail from Google Voice, it goes right into Podio. Okay. I click this. So whenever I get a text message, it goes right into Podio as well. Okay. Let's see here. And then the cool thing that Google Voice does as well that some phone providers do not do is also they'll send me my missed calls. So it's very important that you take advantage of every call, even a missed call. Okay. Now, in regards to that, let's see what it looks like in Podio. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it comes across in Podio. New voicemail number. Okay, and it also gives you a link here that you can listen to the voice message. Right?
Hey, this is Ron. How you doing? Blah blah blah.
Okay, let's listen
Hey,
to that
this is
again.
Ron. How you doing? Blah blah blah.
That is a powerful message, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful. Okay. So that is pretty good. I mean, hey, it tracks the phone. You've got the number right here, caller ID, and it gives you a link to listen to. Okay, which I really like. I hate the fact when phone providers send you that the voicemail as an attachment because what happens is you're constantly downloading to your computer and if you got challenges with space it's just annoying and you've got your employees downloading it depending on their interface that could be a challenge too, so I like the fact of it gives you a link to listen. Okay, so in regards, this is what a text message looks like. Okay,
I
so
found a few movies matching cars.
this is what a text message looks like. Bam. And there's really nothing else. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so in that regards, it allows for you to send missed calls, text messages, and it gives you a link that you can link back to. Now let's show you what Callrail looks like. Okay, so if I'm in my Callrail account, what you're going to see here is this is my phone number for this specific campaign. So I can actually tag this number as my Whitpain Plymouth Conshohocken TM, which is termination notice. Okay, so there's my call flow right here, and basically when I set up this call flow, it comes in, goes right to voicemail. They listen to the voicemail, and then if the call's abandoned, it still shoots over to Podio. If it's missed, it shoots over to Podio. If they leave a voicemail, they shoot me a link. Okay, so also what Callrail does is it shows the caller's number on my caller ID. Okay, so what will happen is Callrail will actually shoot over. Let's take a look at Callrail. As you can see, I'm using Vumber, but I'm actually phasing out of Vumber as well. Let's see right here. Okay, so what you're going to see here is when I call from my cell phone, okay, the seller's name appears this way: abandoned call from Ronald Keene. First off, that is a caller ID. You can't get that function with Google Voice. So right off the bat, you were able to pull some information about that caller. I know their name, or at least the name of the account they're calling from. Okay, so when I call back, I can either reference the name or just use it as a piece of information to facilitate the phone call. Okay, also here, what you'll see is that it shoots over a link. Okay, and this one, the call was abandoned, but look at this, guys. So what I can actually do is if I want to call this person back from this phone number that they called originally, all I gotta do is put my number in there, push OK, and they'll call me first, and then call your customer. So potentially I can call right back my customer with that particular number, or my assistant can do that. Okay, and not only can they do that, but I can also record that phone call. Okay, so if you've got your assistants that are in the Philippines and they're making calls to your sellers, and you want to listen to see what is going on with how they're doing on the telephone, well, guess what? Callrail allows for you to record that whole phone call. You don't get that with Google Voice. Okay, so let's go back into here. So when this comes in, the seller name looks like this, and I've got it set up where the phone number automatically comes into the seller phone. Okay, and then what happens is I send an automatic text. I'm tied up for a bit, call back shortly. Okay, so what you're going to see is that Callrail will also send over yellow letter long. Okay, and I set this up in Callrail. Okay, that's the name of the campaign that this phone number is associated with. So if you are disorganized like myself as far as keeping track of your marketing, who's calling from where, why they're calling, then if you use your Google Voice number, challenge is you pretty much have to talk to every single person, and they pretty much have to tell you why they're calling you and from where. Now, if you've been in this business long enough, you know that not everyone is happy when they call back, and they don't want to give you that information. They don't want to tell you anything. So what this system does is when I get a call from that specific Callrail phone number, my system will automatically flag it as a yellow letter long campaign. Okay? I've sent out 480, and I've had 17 leads call back. There's my letter that I've used. I've not had good success with this letter. Okay, here's all the leads. I'm actually up to 19 leads. So what you're going to see here is when it comes in from Callrail or Vumber, which I'm not using that much anymore, I'm phasing this one out, but if it comes in, then my system will automatically tag that. You don't get that with this, with Google Voice. See, Google Voice will just come in over like this. There's no way for me to change it. So I can't set up a system to flag that phone number with a certain campaign. So, and also the text message, it comes over like this. There's not much I can do with this at all, as far as setting up a flag, or a way for me to flag that campaign. So I can do that with Callrail. Okay, yellow letter long. So I'll have a workflow that will say when the seller's name matches yellow letter long, I want you to match it up with yellow letter long high equity campaign. Okay, so that dynamic tracking, the fact that it gives you dynamic tracking, it gives you caller ID, okay, and allows for you to flag your campaigns. Callrail is actually much better than Google Voice. If you're just starting and really you've got one method of marketing, then Google Voice number works. But if you're going to start using bandit signs, Craigslist, you're going to start direct mail. This is a marketing business, guys. So in order for you to really accurately track your campaigns, you're going to need tools better than Google Voice. So if you have any questions or concerns about this presentation, just let me know. But this is how I would compare the two. Round one goes to Callrail. Let me know if you disagree.